étudiants 8th standard. I welcome you all for this new lesson, lesson 7, Allons à Paris. So last class we finished lesson 6 and today we are going to see lesson 7. The solutions of lesson 6 I'll show you later. Now we'll concentrate on lesson 7. Okay, Allons en Paris. So what you see here is a map of Paris. So hope you can see this map. Here is Eiffel Tower is here, and Arc de Triomphe, this is the gateway. La Défense, Sacré-Cœur, it's a church. Place de la Concorde. So there are few places. We can say it's a tourist place in Paris. So this is a map of Paris. So the blue one is a water line. River Seine is here, and it comes here also. It travels in and around Paris. So other white are the pathways. For example, the way they travel. Okay. So blue is water line. Fine. So now we are going to see and explore the city called Paris. So since this is the first class of the new lesson, you have to take your pencil and have it. As I say, if you have any things to clarify, you can underline and you can write it in English. Today the thing is, I will not translate this lesson. It's your duty to translate this. So I will explain this lesson. So the next class I might give you the translation. Okay, so today's homework for you is translation. So I will explain you what is this. I will read it once and then I will explain you one by one. Okay, let's start. Page 64. So it's page number 64. So I'll give one reading and then I'll start explaining. Please concentrate. Venez, allons à Paris en France. Paris, la ville lumière, est la capitale de la France. C'est une belle ville située sur la Seine. Le fleuve Seine divise la ville en deux parties, la rive droite au nord et la rive gauche au sud. Paris est une ville très ancienne et elle a 20 arrondissements. C'est le centre économique, culturel, industriel et commercial de la France. Elle a de beaux musées, théâtres, monuments et avenues. Beaucoup de touristes visitent Paris. On peut visiter Paris en taxi, en bus, en bateau-mouche, en métro. Le métro parisien est très commode. Très commode. Okay, this is the first passage. We have come to the end of the first passage. So line by line I will explain you. Des monuments à Paris. La Tour Eiffel, une immense tour de feu. Notre-Dame, une belle cathédrale. So they started to explain the monuments at Paris. So one by one they are telling. L'Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile, un monument qui commémore les victoires de Napoléon. Le Sacré-Cœur, une église de pierre blanche sur Montmartre. Le Louvre, un grand musée où se trouve la fameuse Mona Lisa. Okay, so let's see one by one. There are a few more. I'll read it once. Le Centre Pompidou, un musée d'art moderne. Le musée d'Orsay, le plus élégant musée de Paris. La Défense, le nouveau centre d'affaires. Des magasins à Paris, des galeries Lafayette, Printemps, Bon Marché. Des jardins à Paris, le jardin des Tuileries, le jardin de Luxembourg, le bois de Boulogne. So there are some pictures which is available here. I'll just show you what are that. So that will be easy when you just listen to the lesson. So the first one is Tour Eiffel. So I know you guys know very well about Tour Eiffel. So anyone who tell the names France, the second thing which comes to your mind is Tour Eiffel. Yeah, it was constructed on ancient days. It was purely done with iron. Okay, so the full tower is full of iron, and it's a symbol of France. We can say it is a symbol for France. And second thing is Le Musée du Louvre. Here's the museum. So this is a museum of France, very very popular museum in and around the world. Le Centre Pompidou. So this is a stadium. Okay, this is a stadium in France. And La Cathédrale de Notre Dame. So it's a church in France. Notre Dame means Our Lady, the Church of Our Lady. La Basilique du Sacre-Cœur. Even this is a church. This is a Sacred Heart Church. Like we have one here in the opposite to railway station, we have a Sacred Heart Church now. Like that, there is a church in France. And this is one of the famous one. L'Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile. So we can say this is the gateway. L'Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile. So nothing special. They are just explaining about the places in France, that too particularly in Paris. So I'll read it once again. So you could see the map, right? So they are just explaining this map slowly. That is what they do. Okay. So we will see one by one. Venez, allons à Paris en France. Paris, la ville lumière et la capitale de la France. So they say, let's go to Paris in France. Paris, the city of lights, is the capital of France. Okay. So as I explain, I will just translate this passage alone. You guys do this too. Okay. The Monuments à Paris, you translate this, and the names you cannot translate, but the meaning for the name you can translate. Okay. So as I read, I'll just translate this. You can have a pencil and you can start writing. Venez, allons à Paris en France. Paris, la ville lumière, est la capitale de la France. So I repeat, come, let's go to Paris in France. Paris, the city of lights, is the capital of France. C'est une belle ville située sur la Seine. So it's a beautiful city situated on the river, in and around the river Seine. Okay. La Seine divise la ville en deux parties. So the river Seine divides the city into two parts. La rive droite et la rive gauche. So see, for example, this is droite and that is gauche. So the river divides like this. See, this is going and it's turning, right? So it divides the city into two halves. This is the left half and this is the right half. Okay. So the left side and the right side. Paris est une ville très ancienne et elle a 20 arrondissements. Paris est une ville très ancienne et elle a 20 arrondissements. So that means the city is divided with the help of the river Seine, and it is left side and this is right side. And the city is very old. Okay, it's a very ancient city. Okay. Paris est une ville très ancienne et elle a 20 arrondissements. It is 20 subdivisions. So the city is divided into 20 subdivisions. Okay. C'est le centre économique, culturel, industriel et commercial de la France. C'est le centre économique. Okay. So it's economical center, cultural, industrial, and commercial. So there is subdivisions are divided into economical center, cultural centers, and industrial centers and commercial centers. Okay. So of the France. Elle a de beaux musées, théâtres, monuments et avenues. So Paris has beautiful museums, theaters. Theaters means drama. Okay, where they do drama. Theaters, drama theaters, monuments and avenues. Places to visit. Beaucoup de touristes visitent Paris. On peut visiter Paris en taxi, en bus, en bateau-mouche et ou en métro. So a lot of tourists visit Paris. We can also visit Paris on taxi, bus, or cruise. Bateau-mouche means with this help of the Seine river they will take a boat. Okay, that will go in and around Paris, and that is one of the way to come around Paris. Ou en métro, but you can also use train. Okay, metro train. Le métro parisien est très commode. So metro parisien is very often used by the people in France, and they like traveling in train. Okay. So these things you will do. Anyway, I'll read it once. Des monuments à Paris. La Tour Eiffel, une immense tour de fer. So as I said, full of iron. Notre Dame, it's a belle cathedral. It's a beautiful church. L'Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile, un monument qui commémore les victoires de Napoléon. So l'Arc de Triomphe is one thing which tells the victory of Napoleon. Okay. Le Sacré-Cœur, it's also a church. The Pierre Blanche sur Montmartre. So with the place where it is located, they are telling. Le Louvre, un grand musée où se trouve la famous Mona Lisa. So in this museum only we can see that Mona Lisa painting. Le Centre Pompidou, un musée d'art moderne. So I think the Centre Pompidou is a museum, modern art museum. Okay. So there is also a museum. It's not a stadium. It's a museum. Le Musée d'Orsay, le plus élégant musée de Paris. So this is also a museum. It's an elegant museum, they say. La Défense, le nouveau centre d'affaires. So for business. Defense, la Défense. So these things you cannot translate in French. I mean in English. Let it be in French itself. So just those 8 I gave you as homework. So I'll read it once again. Please check what you have written. Come, let's go to the Paris. Paris in France. Paris, the city of lights, is the capital of the France. It is a very beautiful city situated in the river Seine. The river Seine divides the city into 2 halves. The left half is and the right half. Paris is a very ancient city, and it is 20 subdivisions. It is like economical center, cultural, industrial, and commercial form of the France, and it has beautiful museums, theaters, monuments, and avenues. A lot of tourists visit Paris. We can visit Paris by means of taxi and bus, boat, or in metro. So the metro Parisian, they take often. This metro Parisian, they like going in train. So des monuments à Paris. So these things you will do. Okay. So hereafter every day we will have a homework. So that is the rule. So please Try translating it, and once you finish writing, you can take it in your classwork. First do it in your rough note. Okay, now let's discuss on répondez et match the following lié. So répondez, quelle est la capitale de la France? So this everyone knows. La capitale de la France est Paris, Paris. Où est-elle située? Elle est située sur la rivière. So what river I said? La fleuve Seine. C'est une, see, it is given elle. C'est une belle ville située sur la Seine. So elle est située sur la Seine. So that is what you have to write. Elle. Take this in belle ville and write elle est située sur la Seine. Then, so two answers I gave you now. I will repeat that. Quelle est la capitale de la France? Paris. Où est-elle située? Elle est située sur la Seine. Combien d'arrondissements y a-t-il à Paris? So, how many arrondissements are there? How many I said? I said 20, right? So, go to that particular line. Paris est une ville très ancienne. Elle a 20 arrondissements. So, that is the answer. 20 arrondissements. So, write that. Even you can underline, mark it as number 3, and you can write. Comment on peut visiter Paris? Comment on peut visiter Paris? So, where's the answer? See the last before line. On peut visiter Paris en taxi, en bus, en bateau-mouche ou en métro. So, the answer is this. En taxi, en bus, en bateau-mouche ou en métro. So, with this you can write the question answer. So, we are done with question answer. Now, we are going to match the following. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, these question answers and match the following. I will ask and choose the best answers for today's online test. Okay. Now, let's go to match the following. So, match the following. Notre Dame. So, what I said, Notre Dame, what it is? Either it is a garden in Paris or a church in Pierre Blanche or a Belle Cathedral or a magasin à Paris, a musée du modern art moderne. So, I think Notre Dame is what? Notre Dame in Belle Cathedral. Printemps is a magasin à Paris. Okay. Sacré-Cœur is a church. Notre Dame is also a church, but it is a cathedral. So, Sacré-Cœur is in Église de Pierre Blanche. Le Centre Pompidou. Le Centre Pompidou is what? A musée d'art moderne. I said no, there is a big modern art museum. So, that is Le Centre Pompidou. Le Bois de Boulogne. What is left out? Jardin à Paris. So, that is A. So, in your online test, I will ask both these exercises today. And what is the homework which I gave you? The homework which I gave you was, I have done the translation. You have to translate this 8 points. Okay. The Monument à Paris you have to translate. So, that is for today's homework. Today's homework is given. Fine. And today's online test will be based on this question answers and match the following. So, now next what I want you to do is, I want you to learn these nom de pays. So, the upcoming class I will teach you nom de pays. So, we cannot do this, it will take a lot of time. So, I want you to just learn it once. So, based on this masculine and feminine countries, I will help you to learn prepositions. So, there is the exercise number 1 and exercise number 2. So that we will see in the upcoming class. N'était en ordre chez l'intrus. See, if you have a new book, you can do this exercise. Liez et collez les personnages désignés sur les monuments proposés. So, if people who have new book might have this. If you don't have, no problem. So, the next class we will see exercise number 1 and 2, and let's learn based on this exercise number 1 and 2. So, if we have to discuss on that, what you have to do is you have to learn this nom de pays, that is page number 68. Okay, so read it once before I start the next class. I think you'll do this. See, there are two big things which we have to see in the next class, that is prepositions according to the name of the country. So let's do that together. So I repeat, today's homework is what? You have to translate this French passage. I have done half and you have to do the remaining. And number 1. And number 2 is your online test will be based on the question answers and match the following what we have learned today. Okay. So with this I complete today's session. Merci. Bonne journée mes étudiants.